Welcome back from that long break. I apologize for that. Well, this is a press in case you're just tuning in, and yes, you're watching Captain TV live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Princess, and now I've been joined by my guest in the studio in the person of Mr. Abdulaziz Idris, a political analyst. It's a pleasure to have you join us. Good morning once again.
Good morning, Princess.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm sorry.
All right, so let's start out with the business story, because I feel that it kind of touches every other person, even though the story does actually. Now, the CBN's interest cut rate to 27% is what I want us to look at. Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria's decision to lower the benchmark interest rate is aimed at actually spurring economic growth, all right, especially with inflation easing and all that. Now, while this is actually a positive move, and the actual impact on businesses and consumer, I think, is the main crux of the matter. How does it affect the average Nigerian, either as a business person or as a consumer? Also know that this is also to encourage borrowing as well. Now, 27%, do you think is a good number, or do you think it's still on the high side to have 27% interest rate when you borrow money from the bank? Because I think for me personally, I think we should just go down to like a single digit rather, from 9 to all the way down to 1. Yes. I don't know whether you've thought on that with the CBN cutting down. This is actually happening after 4 years that they've held it that way.
You need to see interest rates. If was able to come down, it enables growth, especially for the SMEs, I mean small and medium enterprises. This is very, very essential if CBN and the federal government will consider not even 27%, but bringing it down to a single digit, 9%, 8% for SMEs and other borrowers. It will ensure development, growth, and others. You see, we're in Nigeria here, where we, instead of both CBN and federal government, to look at how we can develop our local industries, how we can develop our small and medium scale enterprises, to develop, to progress. We're not looking toward that. All this interest that you are looking is what hinders a lot of growth. We have a lot of youths that have good skills. They can manufacture, they can initiate, they can develop, and so on. But due to the lack of funding, they cannot be able to borrow. If they want to borrow, the interest rate is high. You understand? So they cannot be able to. It doesn't help in growth of production and manufacturing. But by the time the federal government, CBN, this is a very good move. They are cutting down. Yeah. Interest rate, but we are still urging the federal government to at least consider. Maybe they have to do it in a two-way things. There are some level of people or entrepreneurs that they need to be, the interest shouldn't go anything below 10%. Well, others, bigger companies, so that they can borrow in billions or even in trillions. Those are the ones that you should be going for, that double digits or figures. But majority of our entrepreneurs, majority of our people that are at home, especially ladies that are women, especially that are doing in-house businesses, this thing is not helping them. When they borrow when you borrow at high interest rate, you ended up looking at the fact that whatever you are doing it for the bank. You are not getting anything.
Exactly.
That's why most of the businesses at home, small scale businesses, were on daily basis closing. I could remember, I think statistically, I don't know that was pounded by Bureau of Statistics or somewhere else, but I heard that at least from last year down to this year, it's like every month we have about 7,000 local and small scale businesses that are winding off. Why? We shouldn't have that. We are expecting more to come, not winding down. So definitely, I think federal government, I know is doing the right thing by cutting down, but let it come down again, and let's then consider that small scale entrepreneurs, they should give priority to them. You can, even from the balances in the account, they can be able to know. We know who are okay for this double digit, and we can be able to know who will be better, and they can do better when it comes to single digits. So therefore, we need to improve really in terms of this interest rate. And not apart from that, you see, CBN still has is the one that has the responsibility to stabilize our currency. That is naira-dollar relationship, you understand? Whereby if the dollar depreciates, well, naira appreciates, it helps a lot. It improves businesses. Really, you see people doing business because the purchasing power of people improves, the capacity of companies and industries will improve, and thereby that will enable us to stop importation of some little essential goods. We can produce a lot of things here in Nigeria, but you can see today where we are. We import matches. We import toothpick. We import sunglasses that we can manufacture here. Watches that we can do. People will go to China and import it. Why? We should be doing it. These are things that children at primary school, secondary school, they don't constructing these eyeglasses. They don't constructing watches. I mean, not constructing, they don't manufacturing wristwatches. Now it even comes to the point that you can see at university level, university students, after their lectures, they will go to industries that are manufacturing phones. This phone you see. After your lectures or you are on vacation, you go to those manufacturing companies, they will give you work, you will be involved in manufacturing of phones, laptops, computers. You'll be paid.
All right. Because of time, let's go to the next. I actually wanted you to touch on the fact that Nigeria's Nigeria reserve has surged up to $42.03 billion, which is of course extending to 6-year high. Yet Nigeria is still borrowing. You ask the question, what then is the point that, okay, our reserve is increasing, but we're still borrowing? I don't know if you could answer that question quickly so that we could go to another story. I would like you to touch another story before we open the phone line.
Yes, you see, this borrowing and the fact that, yes, our foreign reserves maybe keep rising, while we are, on the other hand, we use our hand to borrow money. No. To me or to many Nigerians, it's not balanced. You cannot be telling me that my foreign reserve is increasing. Well, we are borrowing money. There should be that when our foreign reserves keep going high, to everyone's expectation that then we cannot be borrowing. We have passed the level of borrowing. By this time, that's what we should be thinking about, or what we should be seeing. By the time you keep borrowing, you keep increasing the burden on the country's economy, and you keep ensuring that, yes, Nigeria's currency will keep being devalued.
Exactly.
So in that respect, the accumulation or the increment in the foreign reserve, it doesn't make much sense to microeconomics, but at macro level, I know it has a lot of advantages. For example, it's foreign investors, what they are looking at, what the country has as in foreign reserve, and what conducive atmosphere they have on ground for important investors to come into the country and invest their money. At macroeconomics, yeah, definitely it might have some very meaningful impact. But downward here, what Nigerians expect is that, no, just stop borrowing since we have enough money. You see, just recently, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said Nigeria has hit its revenue target, meaning that we are growing financially and economically. So in that aspect, we should stop borrowing since we are meeting our revenue target.
Exactly.
Our oil sector, non-oil sector, are contributing immensely to the development of the economy. So definitely, is the best thing to do was to stop borrowing and stabilize our currency, and then do the right thing. Ensure that an average Nigerian, what he wants was to see that today all the essential goods and services that he needed, where he can get it cheaper and closer to him. These are the things. For example, for the federal government came with CNG because there's a need for them to bridge the gap between petrol, which is very costly now. People are not finding it easy to travel. Transporting of goods and services has become very, very terrible. So in that aspect, if you look at it, the CNG is meant for goods, and now people have seen the importance of the CNG. Many people are combating, despite the cost of the combustion, people are still combating their goods, their vehicles. Meanwhile, up to now, the CNG is not very much available everywhere. But yet, you see, there's another thing here that I wanted to talk. Many Nigerians that now are using CNG, especially taxis and buses, they are still charging the same fare. Exactly. The same people, the same vehicles are using transport. So there's improvement in that part, but yes, Nigerians doesn't, the other people doesn't want help for the federal government to ensure that yes, we are not doing good.
Yeah, to be in tandem with what's happening.
Yeah,
that is why a common Nigerian, when they hear that, okay, that inflation is going down, or price of this has reduced, or that revenue is increasing, we do not feel it, because you see the everyday thing around you, your daily purchase as a consumer, you don't feel that the price has reduced. And I think it's some say it's a Nigerian thing that whenever prices goes high in this country, it doesn't come down, even if the situation that led to it changes. Well, let's leave it there. I would like you to touch on, I just merged these two stories together. Of course, that's Natasha Akpoti's return to the National Assembly finally, and she also boldly saying she's not going to apologize. I'd like to hear your take on that, the fact that she's finally returned after so much drama around her, whether she's returning or not returning. And then I also like you to speak on the matter that was raised by the ADC, saying Tinubu is a one-term president, that Nigerians won't give him 2031. What are your thoughts on these two stories, so we can open the phone lines?
Yes, number one is the Natasha return.
Yes.
I think that's the respect to the rule of law. When you suspend a member of a house, either House of Rep or Senate, and that person went for that suspension, and the suspension ended, then now there is no need for another muzzle fight. Let that person return. He has served it, or she has served her 6 months suspension. Now, what do we expect them to do now? Is that the best thing to do is both Natasha and Senate President Akpabio, they should forget and forgive each other. You understand? Let Natasha come and sit in her office, do her work. You understand? Ensure that her people from Kogi State got that dividend of democracy that are expected to have gotten through her. 6 months is a very long period of time for a senator representing people. I think even the federal government need to look, the same House of Reps need to look into that law. Somebody serving people, if you stop him from doing his own duties in the last 6 months, what about the people that he's serving? There are a lot of impact that she could have contributed, you understand, to help its constituents. But now with 6 months suspension, which has been very long, that means what? That means denying the people, her constituents, the dividend of democracy. It's not good. I know our democracy is still at infancy, but there's a need for us.
Is it at infancy?
Yeah.
At the age of how many?
Yes.
Okay, you say so.
When you are borrowing something from America, that they have 200 years above in democracy, or 300 years, some countries 100 plus.
I feel we should
So we have
better than where we are right now.
We should.
Yeah. Before you respond to the ADC's firing at Tinubu's one term, let me quickly tell you, if you're watching from home, feel free to start calling. Studio number is displayed on the screen. Feel free to call. I would love to hear your thoughts on any of the stories, the headlines that I wrote out to you this morning. Feel free to contribute and be a part of the conversation. The phone lines is displayed on the screen at the moment. All right, let's go to that. What is your take on that?
Yeah, the ADC's statement that they're looking at President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as one-term president is not substantiated, because what I see here is that the ADC itself up to now is not well organized. If you look at, there is no strong opposition.
There's none.
No strong opposition. PDP is also in disarray, which is the major opposition party. ADC that came newly, we expect by now you would have been hearing the wave of the ADC all over the country, but you're not hearing nothing.
But they kind of have packed quite a number of people that make waves. I think for me, it might be like a tactic for them not to have named the presidential who is going to run the presidential ticket for them. I think it might be a strategy on their part. Because we have the likes of Atiku, we have Peter Obi, we also have Amaechi, who is also interested in that particular position, and so many other persons. Do you think it might be a delay tactic?
It might be, but you see, what I'm saying is here. For example, you mentioned Peter Obi.
Can I have you hold your
Peter Obi?
Let me have you hold your thought. Let's take this call and then you can continue.
Okay.
Hello, good morning to you. Hello, you there?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
I want to contribute on our reserve.
Can you tell us your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm Godwin, calling from Karo site.
All right, Godwin, go ahead. Are you there?
I want to thank your man in the studio there. He has said it all, that if you have 40-something billion in reserves,
Hello?
and then you're still borrowing, it means your money in your reserve, you just left it over for people to be using.
Godwin?
But let me also correct one impression there. The money in the reserve there, if it's less than what you have borrowed, it has no value too.
Okay.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you too. There's a lot of pause with your call there. All right, thank you for calling us, Godwin. All right, I'm making your voice heard. All right, back to you. You were saying something on
Yeah. ADC up to now, they have not been fully organized. To me, they're not yet coordinated very well. The Peter Obi matter up to now has not been resolved, because I don't know whether Atiku is still not contesting. And is he contesting with Peter Obi as president and vice president?
Yeah.
Or not? You understand? If they fail to come together, that is Atiku and Peter Obi, for example, or if Atiku now decided to allow Peter Obi and maybe Irvai or any other person, or Amaechi and one other person to go into to have the ticket, definitely they will play very good. But the problem here we have now, presently, that has not been yet clear, is whether Jonathan, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, the former president of Nigeria, from 2015 to from 2011 to 2015, is contesting. If he is really contesting, it's going to be a game changer. You understand? It's not going to be as easy as expected for both of them, including Bola Ahmed Tinubu too, because the southern boards will definitely be divided. The stronghold of the PDP, for example, if Goodluck Jonathan came into the race, you know, south definitely southeast are one of the bloc that definitely will give him vote. You understand? So Peter Obi might not do it well as he did in 2023 if Jonathan comes in. Are you getting my point? And now, if you look at it from the other side, was the southwest, which Bola Ahmed Tinubu comes in from. Even there too, Goodluck Jonathan has good supporters. I know, yeah, definitely that was the stronghold of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, where the matter lies, or the north, especially the northwest, which is the highest voting block. If Atiku do not contest the election, for example, definitely these are the areas where both of them, Peter Obi, Goodluck Jonathan, and Jonathan, they are going to battle of northwest, south, northeast, and north central.
Yes.
So, if that the case, these three regions are the one to decide who is going to win this election. You understand? And both of them, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has governors, he has senators, and he has a lot of House of Reps. If you look at it now, people are even decamping. Senators, House of Reps, and governors are decamping from PDP and other parties to APC. So that is telling you there is still something. There is something expected, which many people are not looking at it politically. The calculation of some people might not be right. The equation is not balancing. If they think that it's going to be very easy for someone to come and defeat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu with incumbency and others, especially now that if you look at it, he's trying to stabilize the economy. The average man is at least little by little, you know, things are easing down.
All right, Idris, let's take this caller. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm from Abuja.
Okay. Thank you for joining. Go ahead.
Thank you. This day and this morning, I want to appreciate God, appreciate Nigerians for the great support for my distinguished Senator Natasha.
Okay.
I want to thank
can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, we'd love you if you could just go and speak on any of the headlines, okay?
You know what? You know, you guys are something else in this country. You want me to speak to what you are talking about. So the case of Natasha is not important to hear.
It is. Go ahead.
That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. You want me to speak to what you're talking about. And tomorrow you say people are not speaking of this women and you are a woman.
No.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
Okay, you actually misunderstood me. Can you hear me? All right, we lost that call. All right, I actually didn't hear the name of the person he called. I thought he was calling a different senator or trying to appreciate someone. I don't know. I didn't hear you clearly. So if you could call back, I would really appreciate if you could call back and make your point, okay? Thank you. All right. Okay. Let me take you a bit away from there and bring you a bit of our insecurity. Well, 3 soldiers have backed life imprisonment and 1 got 50 years for aiding terrorism. Now they said that some of these soldiers that were punished for their crime were caught selling arms to terrorists. And this brings to bear what we've complained about, that terrorism in this country is being fueled by people who are supposed to protect us. What are your thoughts on that?
It is true, and yes, when I read that judgment, I was a bit excited. But the problem is, up to now, there were a lot of them within the army, there were a lot of them within the police, civil defense, and also within our politicians who are either in sponsorship or one or the other, also in support of this terrorism going on in the country. You see, it has been kind of pinnacle of sabotage.
I'm sorry.
To the insecurity
I'm sorry.
that
I
we're
have to ask you to take a pause a bit. Let me take another caller.
Okay.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Gideon from Lagos. How are you today?
Oh, but good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. You see, Nigerians, even the government, before we can have a solution to our problem in this country, we should have a kind of methodology to solve problem. We always address problems at the head, at this thing. In those days when we were in school, they teach us how to carry out experiment, how you start your experiment. Not that you should find out the cause of a problem. How do you solve that problem? Why is this soldier selling these arms? Why is this his problem? What is his reason? Is it a background, or is it because there are some people they have because we should always have to address the issue from the grassroots. Do you understand? Something motivated that soldier to start selling arms. Is it because they are there, they are hungry, the allowance is not being provided for them, they are short of cash, they are short of ration, they just need money to do something, they are being cheated, what money that is being meant for is not being paid for them, the money that the allowance that is meant for them is being cornered. No, things are not done like that. You can't just sentence me. It's been passed with life imprisonment. Do we hear the people that sponsor these terrorists? What have they done to them? Are they able to publish them? Are they able to sentence themselves to life imprisonment? But the problem is still continue. Well, we are just see. It's only the poor one, the less privileged one that always suffer this thing. Okay, let me tell you, if there's no terrorist, will that soldier have anybody to pay harm to? Let's address this thing. We only addressing all this problem at the surface.
Okay.
What is the cost of this soldier selling these arms? They should call that soldier. Why are you selling these arms? Did your ration get to you? Is it because you are hungry? Is the allowance be paying for you? Are they? But they are sentenced into this thing. What are people that corner his own allowances? What are people that corner his money, his benefit? Are they sentenced them to life imprisonment? So we should fear God in this country now. We should fear God. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Gideon.
Sure.
Yeah, we appreciate your thought. Yes, indeed, he's talking about tackling this problem from the root. That what is the reason why these soldiers were engaged in selling arms? Could it be that their remunerations are not paid? How much are they even being paid? Because these are people who put their life on the line for the rest of the country. Let's take another call before you respond. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, this is Raimi calling back.
Okay, apologies once again. Like I said, I didn't hear you clearly. The program is open for you to discuss anything you want.
I was talking about the resumption of my distinguished senator, and you were saying that I should be discussing.
Just go ahead. I didn't hear you clearly, like I mentioned. Go ahead, please.
I'm saying we give thanks to God for sustaining us, even though Nigeria decided to despise us as people. The major people of this country, I know every other person is important, but we hold this country together by the grace of God. And no other person, no other tribe, no other people have done that. God bless for doing that. He put us where He located us, in the heart of Nigeria. And we have remained standing firm to that priority that God has given to us. We elected somebody, a distinguished senator, Natasha, who God has endowed with wisdom to withstand and speak truth to power. Nigeria decided to silence her. But we thank God that she was able to withstand the storm and she returned gloriously to her position. And no power on earth in this country will be able to stop her success. That is why I'm calling to thank God and thank the good people of Nigeria who stood by her until the very end.
Thank you for your thoughts.
Today,
we appreciate
mark a remarkable day in Nigeria that will never be forgotten. Thank you.
Thank you too. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right, we just have 4 minutes on the clock, so quickly, you could quickly respond. We're talking about insecurity with soldiers who are back in life imprisonment. Now, the question is it totally their fault, or did the system also push them into this? Quickly, as we wrap up this morning.
Yes, you see, there are a lot of problems. Our military formation have a lot of deficiency, really. We have to acknowledge that, but yet the federal government and the military formation, they are or the security formations entirely, they are the stakeholders, and there should be held responsibility in such type of problems. You see, this army or police selling their uniforms, selling arms, or giving arms, or hiring arms to bandits and other kidnappers and whatever, is very, very alarming, and it threatens the national security. Really, there's a need to do something. This is not the first time. It has been on several occasions. Arms were caught by either police or army, and you find out that those arms are from either Nigerian military or Nigerian police. All the information that we're hearing that arms are coming from Libya, from Mali, they are not true. You can see there are a lot of several occasions whereby they even caught consignment of big arms in ports, in borders from the southwest transporting to the north. All these things we have seen it several times. So what they are telling us is so true. Their budget is the highest in all the budget that the federal government has been making since this insecurity started. Last year, I think their budget is 3.something trillion. This year is 4.something trillion. No, it's not about money. It is not that we are even realizing that it's not the money that was the problem. It is just that
how it's appropriated.
Yes, how it is appropriate, and how those between the senior officers and the downwards, how they plan. There's a kind of military kind of cultism in the military whereby they shield those who are doing these kind of things. This is the first time I've seen a kind of punishment coming up, but I know there are many of them that they should have punished.
Even bigger ones.
In fact, let me tell you, if we change our pattern on how we reward and punish these type of things, these type of problems in the country, it will change things. Not even imprisonment. Some of them, this one, they deserve death sentence. Not even imprisonment, because by the time you keep in prison to these kind of criminals, the next thing you see, another government will come and say they are pardoned. Later, the same military will now come and tell you there is a miscarriage, there is a mistake. This guy was not. They will just clear him and let him go. We have seen it several times. You understand? So the best thing is when they caught these kind of people, it should be just a death sentence. By the time we do that, you see the insurgency will go. If not, like I said the other time here in my interview, the best thing is if this thing they cannot do this way, is to cut down their budget. Okay. It is of noise. It's the same money they are using to recruit the bandits. It's the same money from the same budget they are using to buy arms for these people. New arms. Not even you can see what happened some months ago. We did so that. Thank you very much, because we really are totally out of time. I want to say a very big thank you for joining us today, Abdulaziz Idris, political analyst, for your contributions and analysis on some of the big stories that made headlines today. We do appreciate your input. And to you that listened and called, and some of you that still calling, thank you so much for being a part of the press today, Wednesday. I'll have to say to you, do have and enjoy the rest of today. May the best come your way. I am Princess Ekeze Okoli, and like we say on Captain Television, imagine a beautiful world. Do enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Bye for now.